Hello guys, welcome back to Dunking Monkey. So a few days ago, I was desperately out of content, and I begged for suggestions, and quite a lot of you gave me a ton of contents. Since I couldn't finish all of them in a video, I decided to pick one of them. In this video, we will be discussing enhancements. We will be discussing the best enhancements for every superstar in Global, and also explaining is every E7 are equally strong. Is E7 Jokic is the same as E7 Gasol? Now without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into the video, starting with who is fine at E1. For scorers, the only one I think E1 is acceptable is Dirk. Scorers often need high enhancements for either shot accuracy or shot release speed. For Dirk, his E2 also increases shot accuracy. But why do I think Dirk is acceptable at E1? Dirk only adds accuracy when he grabbed a defensive rebound or blocked a shot, which as a scorer, you don't do these often. You don't always get the accuracy buff at E2 every match. And I think E2 is optional for Dirk. And his E6 buffs his defensive abilities after missed shots, which he still sucks at defense with the buffs. But still better to E7 if you want to main him for accuracy and shot release speed. Now for defenders, only Kawhi and LeBron is good at E1. Both are known for their defensive dominance and cheap prices. Starting with Kawhi first, his enhancements only adds contest stats, and it doesn't really matter since you are not scoring often if you are likely contested anyways. And that 6% movement speed buff doesn't matter really. For LeBron, only his E2 is worth mentioning, which adds his movement speed for every blocks and steals. But again, that little movement stat doesn't really do much. And LeBron already has pretty good base movement stats. His other enhancements buffs his offense, and he still sucks at offense. But if you have the resources, and you want to main both, Kawhi has better shot release speed and LeBron has slightly more block ranges at E7. Now onto the center part. Only Olajuwon. E2 increases the chances of shaking off opponents, which to be honest you still don't shake off opponents often. His E4 increases rebound competitiveness when you have your speed boost on, which means you want to save a speed boost just to grab rebounds. His defense will basically way weaker since one of his reasons why he is good at defense is double speed boosts. E6 gives Olajuwon extra block ranges, which is so little that it doesn't matter. For every block his mid-range accuracy increases, which his mid-range is still inconsistent with the buff. The only good thing his E6 is, every 2 blocks he adds 12 rebound competitiveness, and 12 is a lot. If you don't have the resources, E1 Olajuwon is fine, but it is worth to E7 him, not only cause E6's rebound buff, his E7 also has a fast rebound animation, faster than helicopter. Now let's take a look at who is good at E2. For scorers, KD and Dwayne. Dwayne's E2 helps him stack passives faster, and for every passive earned after his third stack, it will convert into morale points, which also improves his offensive performances. But again, if you have the resources, E7 him. His E6 allows him to pass from fancy dunks. Again, it greatly improves his offensive performance. And at E7 his shot release speed is faster. Now for KD, E2 allows KD to have the extra movement stat when his morale point hits for 100, and he can stack up to 3 times, which is an additional 12 movement stat. It saves him from being a bad defender to an average defender. Not to mention, E2 also gives him increased accuracy. E4 are always the useless enhancement. It only adds contest stats, so skip. While KD is functional at E2, if you want to play him in high ranks, get him up to E7. His E6 increases his shot accuracy after he scored with dunks and layups, and E7 increases his 3-point shot accuracy, allowing him to hit more 3 south in his first attempt without stacking passives. Now for defenders part. We only got one superstar defender left, Jason Tatum. At E2, Tatum can start the game with 2 stacks of ultimate, which allows him to switch modes for better defense, while spacing the floor better early game. But again, if you have the resources, please E7 him. It increases shot accuracy, which you can possibly hit 2 or even 3 3-pointers in a row. Now onto centers part. There is a lot of them. Gasol, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. and Anthony Davis. Starting with Gasol. Gasol E2 completely erases the chances of failed rebounds when he is using ultimate, so that you can grab rebounds from far away, or even if you're being boxed out. But again, E7 if you can. He has extra 3-point accuracy and a bigger contest zone shrink. E7 also increase his shot release speed. Jokic's E2 allows him to increase the duration of the buff received after his screens. So at E2 his speed buff, shot accuracy buff, and shot release speed buff lasts 1 second longer. 1 second is already enough to change a game, not to mention during the duration of the buffs. His contest zone shrinks by 10%. But again, if you have the resources, E7 him. With Jokic being one of the worst rebounding superstars centers, helicopter is pretty important to him. AD needs E2 for the rebound stats. Air 1 AD is also one of the lowest rebounding centers, but E2 gives him 10 extra rebound stats for every assist he has max to stacks. In case you don't know how much is 20, a max rebound potential gives you plus 25 stats. But again, if you have the resources, E7 him. E6 allows him easier to score second chance points. And for every second chance points he scores, his vertical stat increases by 10 up to 3 stacks. And that is another huge rebounding buff for AD. Giannis E2 lengthens his ultimate duration. This one is important as the only good thing about Giannis is his ultimate. But again, if you have the resources, E7 him. He adds 12 rebound stats for every failed rebounds until he grabs a rebound. For centers helicopters, they are optional, but it's better to unlock them. They help you grab rebounds faster. Now E4 is often the useless enhancement, so we are going to skip to E6. Starting with scorers, we only got one left, SGA. At E6 for every mid-range layup attempt, his 3-point accuracy for the next shot plus 6%. Without E6 you will be bricky from 3. If you don't mind being bricky in clutch moments, yeah, 1 is fine for you. And we don't have any defenders left, so we will be skipping to centers. And we also only has one center left, Joel Embiid. E6 Embiid stacks passives faster, and his defense is only good when passive is maxed. So with E6 you still have to wait for your passive stacks, but you don't have to wait for half of the game. Not to mention at 5 stacks of passives, E6 also gives him 20% contest zone shrinks. Now that is all of the global players. I see some of you are thinking that E7 superstars are equally strong, like E7 LeBron is as good as E7 Tatum. And I have to clarify that it's wrong. Take LeBron and Tatum for example. LeBron's enhancements gives him a better offensive threat, but his offense still sucks. It's called a useless enhancement. Tatum's enhancements adds accuracy. He shoots better and spaces the floor better now. These are called effective enhancements. Values are different. Since Tatum can shoot well at E7, he fits in a lot of lineups. Not to mention that his defense is versatile, and his rebound stats are not bad at all. There are no lineups he can't be used. On the other hand, for LeBron, at E7 his offense still sucks. While he is still dominant in one-on-one defense, his offense hurts the team a lot. His help defense is also not at the top. Therefore he can only be used in ESO lineups or defensive lineups. The spacing of these lineups are often tighter, which gives more pressure on the scorer. And therefore it is very important to know which characters to invest in. And if you are free to play, in order to make the character functional, you have to know the minimum enhancement required for every character. Before the video ends, I want to promote my Discord server. Prime Russ is coming and test servers will be open today. If you don't want to miss out on any Prime Russ updates, remember to join.